Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of FTB Sports Champions League Roundup Show. Here today, we've got Ian, also we've got Adam featuring. Today, we'll be going through talking about all the Champions League games that's played already and all the upcoming games. And featuring right towards the end, we'll be talking about all the Premier League games that took part on Monday Night Football. So, we're going to start off with the show with, can you like, subscribe, follow us, please? And also, this will be a Manchester United watch-along show. Man United fan, Adam is a Man United fan, and Ian's a Man City fan. So it's going to be a very interesting show tonight. So please like, subscribe, give us a follow. Thank you. So first game today, guys, was Sevilla. They scored, what was it? They went 1-0 up after 4 minutes. And there was equalised. I think it was...
Breaking the Bruno Fernandes, a smash one top corner.
1-0 Man United.
1-0 Man United.
Bruno.
It wasn't a penalty. That for the first
Go on, the boys.
Is that from open play?
Normally scored for a long time.
It's open play. We'll take it. Open play. We'll take it. We don't really and truly get along. Pardon?
Corner's coming. It's gone for everyone. Come out to the edge of the box and he just smashed it top right-hand corner.
Bruno, that's it. So back to the game. So we'll be going through, guys. It's a watch along. So because it's a watch along, we'll be going through and talking about Man United as the game progress. So yeah, Sevilla. I don't know what I've made of Sevilla in Champions League. I just look at them as more of a Europa League team. What they scored again 1-1 up until like the 94th minute, and they scored a 95th minute. Ian, what's your take on sort of Sevilla? What do you make of them being in Champions League? Because this is probably the furthest they've ever been in Champions League in sort of probably about 2-3 years.
I think the first thing I'd say is they've deserved it. You know, I don't think any club has won the UEFA Cup as many times ever as they have. So you've got to say they've won it through tenacity, and it was a difficult UEFA Cup last season. I'm hopeless with the names, but he's the ex-national manager who's at Seville, if I remember rightly. And getting down badly in the media and by Real Madrid in horrible sense. It's almost redemption for him as well. For all those doubters who said he couldn't do Real Madrid. And if there's one thing Real Madrid does to ex-managers, it makes them angry to actually show that they've been badly treated. So, and it's good. I know he's not playing tonight, but Jesus Navas at 35, 36 years old, playing right back. He's been a winger. It's pretty amazing. And it's this conglomerate of ages they've put together, which is really interesting. Really, a real blend of players.
Yeah. Adam, what? Yeah, they do. They're quite sort of, how can I put it? I do like them as a team, especially not being biased, but beating Liverpool a few years ago in the Europa League, which was brilliant. Celebration all the way around. Adam, what do you make of Sevilla, though, as a team itself? Because tactically, they look very good tactically. It's like a very hard team to break down.
Yeah, I like them. I remember we played them last year in the semi-final.
Yeah.
They look really good, really solid. And you can see why they always do well in the Europa League. But they just always seem to falter when it gets to the knockout stages of the Champions League. It's almost like they're a very good team, but when it comes to it, they're just not that level for Champions League. But I think the manager they got, I think he is one to take him to the next level. He does seem like he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. I don't know. For me, Sevilla, I do like them as a team. I think they're quite good as a team. The setup and organisation is very good, and when they play a British team does struggle against them. So, So now the next game we're going to move on to that got played earlier was Chelsea, and them and Sevilla now both qualified for the Champions League next stage. Now, Chelsea at the beginning, they came in right at the beginning. They got rid of obviously Kappa, and now with Kepa out of the team, it seems like there's redemption. It's almost like loads of clean sheets now. Adam, what do you think that's down to? Would it be the goalkeeper, or is Frank Lampard playing to his strength now?
Well, I think it's quite a known fact that Kepa makes lots of mistakes. He's a pretty poor. I'd not say that he's pretty poor. He's a pretty good keeper. He can pull off some worldly saves, but when it comes down to it, he's not consistent enough. He makes some mistakes, which I think Mendy's come in and he's obviously he's demanding a lot more from his defenders as well. So I think that just that fresh, another goal by the way, just that fresh perspective of a new keeper coming in. If you're new as well and you're fighting for that spot, you're going to try harder. So I think it's down to the keeper coming in. Lampard's obviously got a certain type of keeper that he wanted to go for, certain personality. So he's getting that from the back four as well. So I think defensively they've been great since he's come in.
Ian, I think how much was it? I think was it about? Can't remember the figure. Was it 70 million or was it 90 million for a goalkeeper? Can you keep that sort of price goalkeeper sitting on the bench? And as a keeper, would you want to sit on the bench for that price?
As a club, wouldn't you want to release some assets of money to reinvest it in other areas of the team? That would be the first thing to say. When I reflect back on Kepa, I remember being there live at Wembley and watching him with all that kerfuffle when his manager wanted to substitute him for the penalties at the end, and he wouldn't come off the pitch, etc. And to me, that exemplified someone who's incredibly immature and emotionally fragile. And I think when things didn't start to go his way, actually, I think his immaturity and his obvious character worked against him. And then he talks like a man, acts like a guy, a big commander of the deck. He's a captain and commander. Whereas Kepa was a little bit of a petulant young fella who probably doesn't have the respect of his defenders and is emotionally too fragile to be a keeper. Keepers have to be the most mentally together, grown up, mature. And I think he's not got it upstairs, basically. He's a good athlete, he's not got it upstairs. You need to release your asset.
Yeah, because I find it's almost like there's a mistake in him. He reminds me of, who is it now? What goalkeeper I'm thinking of? When Man United had Bosnich, it's almost like when Bosnich played, I never had any confidence whatsoever. I had no confidence in anything that's going to happen. If any shot go towards him, I think, because he's a short keeper as well, for a goalkeeper, Bosnich, you were worried.
I think it's all upstairs in a goalkeeper. You can have great athletes, but it's all in the head. And I think Bosnich showed in his personal life, drugs and whatever, that maybe he didn't have enough going on upstairs or enough personal characteristics to be a commander. I would say that's the key bit.
Yeah. So Chelsea, both Chelsea and Sevilla both qualified for the next round of Champions League. Now we're going on to, obviously, because Adam, you've got everything in the background going on. We've got the Borussia Dortmund versus Club Brugge. For me, I'm finding like Borussia Dortmund, they do very well last season. This season in the Bundesliga, it seems like they're struggling massively. Also, in the Champions League, it seems like they've got a bad run of form at the moment. Ian, what do you think? Could you put your finger on why it's so poor at the moment for them?
I'm not sure. I haven't watched Dortmund enough getting together. I think the only comment I'd make is in England it's different. The top clubs can't often afford to plunder players from elsewhere necessarily in the Premier League as much as they do. Spain and Germany are different. We've got a couple of very, very, very wealthy clubs at the top who will cherry pick every good player throughout their league and just plunder their own leagues in a different way than the top of the Premier League. I feel Bayern Munich will be just looking at any other team in that Bundesliga and go, yeah, well, that's them and them. and the same with Barcelona and Real Madrid. So we talked earlier about Seville. When you look at Seville and Real Sociedad and Cadiz, who are doing really well in the Spanish league at the moment, they're poverty. Those clubs, in terms of affluence, are barely atop of the championship team. The gulf between the riches of Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Atletico is far greater than the riches between the top 4 or 5 in England and the rest of the league, where you still got pretty well off clubs in Wolves, etc., and Everton further down. The same in Germany. The gulf in the money between the top 2 or 3 and the rest is much different from England. So I'd say, Dortmund have to keep producing players to keep at that level, because otherwise they just lose. I don't know why.
Adam, what's your take on it?
Ian, do you think it's got anything to do with the Sancho transfer saga during the summer?
Yeah, could be. Okay, I'll give a view on this. I think that when a player is contracted to another club, and I'm going to make a massive dig at United and Bayern Munich, there are some clubs across Europe who think they've got a God-given right to break every single rule that is meant to be there to protect them in terms of undermining players and unsettling the players. The way that Bayern Munich handled Leroy Sané from Man City for more than a year, through their press, through their chairmen, through their directors, they did such a job, and United tried to do that to Sancho. And I think that's the law is put in place to prevent exactly that. If, I don't know, Everton tried to do that to Crystal Palace, they'd be held by it. But there's some clubs who, and my view is, there is an old boys club that owns UEFA that lets them get away with behaving illegally where other clubs can't do that. United are one of them, Bayern Munich are another, and Real Madrid are absolutely there. The way Real Madrid are unsettling Mbappe, that guy's got a contract, for God's sake, and they're on and at him every single week. That's illegal. That's tapping a player. They've done it for 2 years. Bayern Munich did it to Leroy Sané for 18 months, and United have been hounding that. There's laws against that.
Yeah.
But, UEFA, as it was shown, is a corrupt organisation that's in the pockets of the richest clubs in Europe who don't want the nouveau riche like Man City or Dortmund to do very well. Hence, when the Bayern Munich directors had Der Spiegel, the newspaper, in their pockets, one of their directors employed tactics to hack the Man City accounts to find dubious emails, as they want to do in the nouveau riche. And that's, they talk about the fair play league, but what's fair play about United handing a player like Sancho when it's in his contract? Anyway, I've got that on my list.
I think with the Sancho deal, though, I think what it is, obviously United went along and United thought as a club that deal will definitely go through. Man United 2-0 up now. 2-0 up now.
Bruno Fernandes.
Yep. So we're going to talk about Bruno Fernandes as well as we reach the Man United game. But yeah, it's a watch along. Guys, whoever is watching, please like, subscribe, comment, and we'll answer all your comments as well as the show continue to go through. So for me, the next game we're going to go through is Lazio and Zenit now. I've been watching Lazio a little bit more than usual. I've been watching a bit more of the Italian league this season, more than usually do. But by years gone by, Zenit Petersburg was a team that was feared. Now I look at them and they just roll over for teams. I say roll over, they don't. But if you're going to beat them, you're not going to beat them by like the odd goal 1-0 or it's going to be a 0-0. And with Lazio as well, last season they were brilliant. This season they're just letting in goals as well. So I'm going to go to Adam. Lazio, what's progression? Where could you see them finishing in the Champions League group this season?
Well, they got a team capable of going quite far in the competition. I think last season they were quite unlucky towards the end of it because they were on a very good run in their league, and I don't think lockdown helped them at all. They come back and just completely lost it, I think. But yeah, I can see them going quite far. They're a pretty decent side. Typical Italian football, very defensive. But they normally get the job done. So
they've got a few key players. They've got a few good players actually this season.
I don't know many of their players now, but I have seen them play a couple of times. They're a pretty good side.
Ian, where do you see them finishing?
Well, I don't know the detail of Italian football. I have a little theory on something, and that is to reflect back and think about those grounds that were ferocious before lockdown, where sport made a difference and didn't make a difference. We talked about Dortmund before and the yellow wall. Well, has that really damaged their potency? Lazio was a ferocious ground to go to. The Turkish guys, Besiktas and the Turkish team, you didn't want to go there when they had that crowd. Now they're nothing. When you look all around Europe, you could almost put red, amber, and green. On red, those grounds that players never wanted to go to, where the fans were ferocious, like Lazio, Turkey, Greece, and now, to an extent, the ban on supporters has made their secret weapon impotent. I think you can see that a little bit in the Premier League, where some of those clubs that had fans right up to the pitch had a distinct advantage.
Yeah.
And now the playing field is much levelled. So if you're making a comparison with their performance last season, when they had fans, then it's different depending on the intensity of the fans and the shape of the ground. That's my little theory on it. That I think. Back to you then at St. Petersburg and the Russian clubs as well. When a Western European team went to play in Russia, that was intimidating enough. The Russian fans take no prisoners when it comes to the noise and the angst that they'll create in the ground. I think when you go to Spain and when you go to Portugal and France to an extent, it's a little bit more placid. I don't think the fans make as much of an impact as Russia, Greece, Southern Italy, and some of those venues.
Yeah.
That's my little theory on this. And you can divide the Premiership up to grounds that made a difference and grounds that didn't.
Yeah, because I think, to be honest with you, I think they will get through the rounds. They're decent. I think they're half-decent team. Lazio, they, like you said, last season, they were great. So before we go to the next one, we're going to say it's going to be Dynamo Kiev versus Barcelona. Messi has come out regarding this now. Apparently this week he flew to the Argentinian squad. He played. On the way back, he had the taxman next to him, apparently. Then when he came out of the airport, he was then delayed for another hour. Then that delay, he then went outside, and then the press was outside, and it was, let's all blame Messi. And that was what he quoted the press. Everything is his fault that's happening at Barcelona at the moment. But Barcelona right now is on a wretched run of form at home, champions everywhere at the moment, to be fair to them. They sit 12th in the league as well. Struggling.
Back to my stadium comment I'd make. You're not afraid to go to the new camp. Now they've got no fans.
Yeah. Could be. Adam, what's your thought on Barcelona? Because it's almost like 2 seasons ago, they were Champions League finalists. Last season, they got absolutely annihilated by Bayern Munich. And this season, they're a different team. But I do understand they've got a lot of injuries, but also a lot of the players are aging as well, because now they got PK out as well. And he's going to go, I think if I'm right to say, surgery. He's meant to be having either surgery or he's going to have something that doesn't prevent. If he has surgery, he's going to be out for the whole season. If he go for like this small operation, he'll be back in 6 to 8 weeks. And they are struggling now.
Yeah, I think their issue stems back probably 5 or 6 years ago with their signings they make. I mean, they get rid of a player, go and buy one for 150 million. They don't care who it is. I mean, if you go and buy Coutinho for 100 odd million, then you may as well just chuck your money down the drain. It is as simple as that. I mean, Dembele. I mean, I think he had a good 20 games for Borussia Dortmund. Spent 120 million. I think it's just the whoever's dealing with transfers there, the board, director of football, whoever it is, just made bad decisions, and obviously they haven't kept up with their youth system. I mean, they got that young lad that's just come through, Fatty.
Yeah, he's injured though. He's going to be out for a couple of months.
Yeah, but I mean, when that is your only product coming out of the academy that's worth talking about, then there's obviously issues within the club, within the academy, within their transfer policy, and now COVID's come along. They haven't got the money to spend. I think Arsenal are spending more than Barcelona at the moment, which is a little bit embarrassing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it stems from a long time ago, and it's, you know, with the financial situation, I can't see it getting better for a while.
Yeah, Ian, your thoughts on it, the Barcelona situation at the moment? Because I just think it's a merry-go-round at the moment. It's a circus at Barcelona. I thought Old Trafford was bad.
Adam said some spot-on things there. I think bad detective work, watching the likes of Dembele and spending ridiculous money. Coutinho played well over the odds. Griezmann, 29 years old, come on. You know, if we were putting fantasy football teams together, we wouldn't support those three anywhere near that player. I don't know whether it's arrogance or stupidity. And I think, you know, over the weekend, when they sent a teenager out to do the pressing conference after losing to Atletico, that's just I can't say naive. I mean, that's just shocking management, really. I mean, you've got to who's running the club. You did have the core of those guys who bought the right players disappear with Pep Guardiola, and now seeing him Man City for a few years, and I'm not certain who they replace him with. What else? I thought De Jong would do a bit better. I really thought he was the real deal at Ajax. De Jong and De Ligt, they really disappointed. I thought they were in days gone by when, you know, the Dutch produced some great stars. You know, when they had Bullet and Rijkaard and players that came through together, and I thought those two guys would set Europe alight. I thought they were.
Yeah. But again, do you think they overspent it though, Ian? Do you think they overspent on De Jong? Because again, he's had what? I think he only had one good season on Ajax.
I think they paid 65 million, which felt right at the time. I thought it was a bargain for that because he's still very young, very developable. I thought he had two great feet. I thought for 65 million, he's probably one of the few players they bought who actually thought, yeah, that's very sensible. I wish my club had bought him. Whereas the others, they keep him. I mean, Griezmann at 29 to pay that sort of money is bonkers.
Yeah.
Yeah, stupid.
Yeah, so
it's silly money.
But again, I reflect on, you know, it's 100,000 capacity there. You know, if you're playing there and you're, I don't know, playing in front of 20,000 people in Portugal and you're in the Champions League and you go to the Nou Camp, it's pretty terrifying going there. Whereas now it's all been totally level in terms of no one's afraid to go up there. They're just playing 11 players, not 100,000 fans.
Yeah. So I think Barcelona, they will qualify for Champions League. They will. We know they will qualify, but it's going to be like a struggle for them qualifying. The next team we're going to go to is going to be Juventus. And for me, it seems like Juventus cannot get a result without Cristiano Ronaldo.
That's the trouble with being the best player in the world, man.
The GOAT. It seems like they cannot get it. Ian, what's your process? What are your thoughts on this? Because Juventus, it's not if they haven't spent money. They spent a lot of money last season.
I don't know what Ronaldo and Ibrahimovic have for breakfast, but I'd like some of that. I think they've looked after themselves physically. Those two guys just incredibly. I put them in. I know Ibrahimovic is a bit bigger than Cristiano Ronaldo, but they're a similar kind of physique, similar kind of players, and they've looked after themselves well. You know, managing to stay at the top of their game is quite amazing. I think don't underestimate some of these clubs who are very, very, very experienced in Europe, how they can get through rounds just based on their experience. The season before last, Real Madrid won the Champions League, and they were a bloody rubbish team.
Yeah.
They got through. They struggled in their own league, but they got through and won it just on nous and experience, etc. So the likes of Juventus, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, they can limp through the Champions League to the latter stages just based on their experience. And I think Juventus are one of them.
Yeah.
Will limp through.
Because also, I think, if I'm right to say, Ronaldo got tested. Ronaldo got tested, I think, twice for COVID. And on both occasions, he had COVID. So he self-isolated, had a test, self-isolated, had another test, and had it as well.
And yet, United fans...
I reckon bubonic plague and cholera and still scored that.
And yet, United fans are still...
unreal.
Sorry, Ian?
He's unreal. He could have had bubonic plague, cholera, and goodness knows what, and he'd have still somehow scored.
Adam, what was that about United fans?
No, I was saying, and yet United fans still use the excuse about Pogba having COVID for the reason he's playing bad. And you got Ronaldo, Ibrahimovic, both tested positive on 2 occasions.
Yeah, I'm a Pogba in, so yeah.
I mean, there's about 80 years of age between both of them, both players, Ronaldo and Ibrahimovic. But with Juventus, I don't know why. I know the Italian way is to play very defensive and hit on the break, but when you're playing in that league and you're Juventus, is there any need to? It should be the case of not even having a manager. You should be able to go out there and just smash.
It's like players. FIFA on holiday, and FIFA you manage on holiday. Those games, remember the years ago, you just go on holiday and that's it.
Yeah, that's it. I don't know why it's so defensive and why there's only, it's always a 1-0 or a 2-1 or a draw. United penalty, by the way.
Oh, can't beat it, mate. Join them. Was it a penalty though?
Fernandez on a hat trick then.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to get a chance to take it. But yeah,
who's taking it?
They're just checking a possible offside.
Oh, referee's a penalty. Just give it. Forget it.
Oh, it's definitely a penalty though.
Don't worry about the offside part. Just give the penalty, ref. We don't care. We'll take anything at the moment.
Yeah, I'm waiting for a Liverpool fan to jump on it. But yeah, like the Juventus, I don't know why they struggled to score goals. I mean, you got Cristiano Ronaldo, you got Dybala, you got who's their striker now? Is it Higuain?
Yes.
You got Higuain. He's not the fastest in the world, but he'll get you a goal.
Clever player though. Clever.
Very
clever player.
Yeah, they should score a lot of goals.
So guys, before we move on to
how's Cavani looking? I haven't got the TV on.
He's looking pretty good.
He should start. Cavani should be starting. I still don't understand why Cavani hasn't started a game for Man United until today.
Oh right, yeah.
That's it. Today's his first thing.
On his weekly wages, for God's sake, you've got to play him.
There you go. Just like how we have to play Maguire. That's why we need to play him.
There's a very long check on this penalty, by the way.
Yeah, I know it's not a penalty, ref. Don't worry about it.
And it's Rashford stood over the ball at the moment.
Yeah, Rashford ain't going to let him.
I thought it was very interesting at the beginning of this season when you had a whole series of very experienced forwards available, from Higuain to Cavani to
penalties given.
Luis Suarez to Dzeko. You had some incredibly experienced centre forwards there.
Yeah.
And what really frustrated me as a City fan was that City knew Aguero was injured before the season started, and yet you had a plethora of. You could add Mandzukic to that.
Yeah.
5 incredibly experienced.
3-0. We'll take it.
King Rashford.
Yep. Sorry, Ian.
I was just fell asleep there for a minute. But,
we're celebrating today.
You got 5 incredibly experienced forwards that are available at the end of last season.
Yeah.
For clubs where they were struggling up front or they had an injury to a striker. I don't blame United for buying Cavani. I wanted Man City to buy him.
We've got some haters coming in.
What's that? United are crap.
Yeah.
Is this a Europa League? I swear this person, Michael Webster, you're a Europa League Thursday team. I think it's a Tottenham fan.
What team do you support, Mike?
I think he's a Tottenham fan.
Let us know what team you support.
Yeah, it's got to be a Tottenham fan. Tottenham or Arsenal fan. It has to be one of them fans. Can't be the elite, any of the elite's team. Sorry, carry on, Ian. You're saying about, obviously, all the strikers was available and with Aguero.
5 fantastically experienced strikers available. And some other good young strikers from the guy who went to Liverpool, etc. around. And I really struggle to understand why City didn't buy one of them knowing that Aguero was injured. Can't get my head around it.
Yeah, it is. I think, who was I talking? I was talking to someone today, and we were saying about, obviously, that's what I think what Man City is lacking, a striker. They're lacking it. That's the difference, because you got Jesus and you got Aguero out. They're out, and then that's it.
Well, also, Guardiola's now had quite a few seasons, and every club knows how to play City.
Yeah.
And you don't have other options. Whereas it was really interesting to see Chelsea 1-1 coming to the end, and Giroud comes on and scores a goal. He has the ability to change the whole way Chelsea play, because you've got a different option.
Yeah.
In the same way that Rashford would want it on the ground, whereas Cavani would be happy with the ball bobbling around the pitch.
Yeah.
And when you're struggling to break down a defence, sometimes you need a plan B.
Yeah.
And definitely, Giroud gives you a plan B. Cavani gives you a plan B.
Yeah.
Man City ain't got a plan B.
It's a Tottenham fan as well, by the way. Top of the league. Yep. We'll see how long they stick around for.
No, I've still got I hate to say it, I've still got Tottenham down as my favourites.
I still do. But they're getting excited now. Jose is doing well for them. You wait till next season. They're going to want Jose out next season.
First season syndrome.
Yeah.
Anyway, a bit later, I've got a view on this. I've really got a view first. Really got a view.
So the next one, we're going to skip straight to PSG. We'll come back to Man United in a minute, because we can go through about half time. It's the PSG versus Leipzig. Now, for me, I look at last week, to me, was an upset. PSG got absolutely beaten. I think it was 4-1 in the end. That was a surprise for me. I couldn't see them, like, PSG losing that game.
Who did they get beat 4-1 by?
Leipzig.
Oh, yeah, of course they did, yeah.
I was shocked. I was gobsmacked.
I know, I'm not.
Oh, Ian, what's going on at PSG? Well, I know they got lots of injuries as well, so that could be it, but
I don't think we should underestimate losing Thiago Silva back. He was the commander on the deck. He was the guy organising them, working them out, and had been for 5-6 years.
Yes.
And now at Chelsea again, it's not just Mendy who's mended the Chelsea defence. Thiago Silva again. If you're going to think of a like-for-like swap, you've got that madman David Luiz who bails out to Arsenal, and you've got that sensible captain and commander of Thiago who comes in.
Yeah.
You kick out a couple of petulant boys, the goalkeeper and David Luiz, and you replace them with commanding, mature guys like Mendy and Thiago Silva. And I don't think we should underestimate that. So I'm not sure. Paris Saint-Germain always seem to have a fragility about
them. Yeah, it's a weird one with them. They're almost there and thereabouts, aren't they?
Yeah, it must be very difficult in that French league, because when we've talked about those other leagues, if you're Bayern Munich, you still get a pretty hard time most of those weeks, or Real Madrid in the Spanish league. But when you dance your way through the French league, and then you have to play in Europe, I don't know how well prepared you are for, concentration-wise, intensity-wise, to play the best in Europe when you've been playing a bunch of lightweights every week in France.
Yeah. It just goes to show the fact that PSG lost their first 3 league games in a row, and they're sat about 11 points clear of their league.
It's embarrassing.
It just goes to show the quality they have.
The level.
Like Ian says, that when it comes to playing someone half decent, they falter. I mean, United aren't exactly in a great run of form, and we went there and done them 2-1, and we looked like the home team, to be fair.
Yeah.
That was probably United's lowest ever as well. Everyone was expecting them to lose there.
Yes.
I think United ended up and they played all right, and even all right was enough to beat Paris Saint-Germain.
Yeah,
so,
that's it. And they were the finalists last season of the Champions League as well.
Yeah, they don't get a hard time week in, week out. Chelsea do, and they've already qualified. United do. They should follow. Liverpool do. City do. You get a hard time week in, week out.
I think if we win today, if Man United win today, I think what will happen is we only need 1 point and we're qualified for it. Right. I think that's why, because that will sit us. Yeah, it will sit us in a good place.
What's your thoughts on Neymar, both of you? Because whenever I see him play, he dives. He dives. His teammates never look like they really like him, and he seems quite toxic towards any opposition after the game as well. He just seems to have a toxic aura around him. What do you guys think of him? Do you think he's good for PSG or not?
No, I think he's a baby.
Yeah, I agree. He's immature. Let's keep using the word immature. I think, and it also depends on what the club's done for him. You know, if Messi was told he was a genius from being 14 or 15 years old, he's managed to keep his feet on the ground. But that was because the club he was at, wouldn't let him be a show pony. They insisted he played with everyone else, etc. I imagine the world have been telling Neymar he's God since he was about 12 years old, and the guy his own mind. Sorry, I'm going to criticise Broadway just a little bit here. There's just some players who don't have it upstairs to know that they're team players as well. It's almost as though they think the game's too easy, and they forget about the holistic view of what they're paid to do. They're not paid to go forward. You're a modern day player. This isn't the 1980s. And Neymar and Pogba have to know that they are expected to be an all-round holistic player to do as much as that. And take all the credit in the world to Harry Kane. You watched his performance against Man City, and the guy gave heart, soul, and blood. He was their best defender, their best midfield player, and their best attacker. And
phenomenal.
Who on earth would ever say that about Neymar?
You wouldn't have Neymar or Pogba doing that. Pogba and Neymar are luxurious players.
Yeah, but this is 2020. That's what a player has to do.
Yeah, luxurious players.
Neymar would have good in the 1980s and
1990s. So, quick one before we go.
Maradona would have gone on in the modern day, when actually he was a tracker batter as well.
Yeah. So, what I'm going to do now, quickly, guys, is we're going to go through, because it's almost half time now. We'll go through a little bit about the Man United game, anything we want to touch on the United game. Then from there, we're then going to probably look at the Monday Night Football, talk about that until the second half kicks in, and then we'll just go back to the United game after that. So for me now, let's reflect. Man United are 3-0 up. For me, I'm going to still stick by my guns, and I'm not going to, as a United fan, I'm not going to sit there and say, I celebrate when the team win, I celebrate when the team draw, and if we lose, I'm still there if we team lose, because I never want my team to lose as a fan. But for me, we talk about giving managers opportunity, and we don't want to sack managers, and managers need to be given the opportunity. For me, as a United fan, I don't know what you think or your thought process is, Adam and Ian, is my process is, if that was any manager in the country that come out after we lose with a smile on his face and said the boys gave it everything they have, but we just weren't good enough. Also, not on top of that, we're talking about what are they doing in training as a manager? With this team now, United, any manager you put in there, Eddie Howes, anyone you put in that would do a better job than Ole. Adam, go on, Adam. Let's start with Ian first. Ian, what's your thought process? Could any manager go in and do a better job than Ole? I'm not Ole. I'm an Ole out. Always Bill and always will be. Never wanted him in the club as a manager. He should have done his time when he had interim manager and then go.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's an interesting one. My brother Robin is on the team as well, and he's an adamant disliker of Pep Guardiola. I think he's a one-trick pony, been sussed out, etc. But he's a couple of years.
Give us Pep. Well, I'll take him.
Yeah, but when I lived all those years in the United shadow, City were changing managers every season, and we got to the depths of like Frank Clark and Alan Paul, and managers like that who went through there. I prayed almost every week to have a manager for more than 2 or 3 seasons and let them develop. And actually, Pep Guardiola is the longest-serving manager of Man City since Joe Mercer. And actually, you look at the only 2 managers who've really brought any success. Well, I would say, after Moyes and after Van Gaal and Jose Mourinho, I think you've got to give him a chance. You don't build a good hand when you're playing poker by just folding all the time and redrawing a new set of cards. You get work on it to build up the stack of cards. I think the last thing United want is another manager change. I think you've got to do it. Who are you going to pick out there? Because there's no one who leaps out for me.
For me, I'll come to you, Adam, because I know you're going to have different topics on this one. For me, I would sit there and Allegri is better than him. Pochettino.
No experience, but a bit of a gamble.
In what? Why would you say Allegri's better? He's managed Juventus.
He's a manager because, again, for me, I look at it and I look at some of these Man United players, and I honestly believe these guys look after the check. Listen to Paul Scholes listening to Roy Keane's interviews about Solskjaer. Solskjaer isn't going to be the manager that gives you hair dry treatment. He's going to be hands around you and nice to you all the time. You need a manager who's going to go in and basically let the players know they're doing bad.
Yeah, he does let know players they're doing bad, but this is modern day football as well. You're not always going to get that hair dry treatment. That's not the way.
Well, you see,
way,
a manager I look at right now, and he's a very successful manager, and I watch him a lot of time on the touchline, and I see his face, I see his reaction when a player do a bad pass or anything like that, and that's Jurgen Klopp. He'll put his hand around you, but if you watch him closely on the touchline, you know if you're not doing well, he's coming for you. Pep Guardiola the same. When you watch Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he sits up the top. Michael Carrick sitting there biting his fingernails.
Yeah, no, I see what you mean, but there's different styles, isn't there? Because not every manager, just because they shout and give their players a bit of drama, is going to win the league, and we know that.
Of course not.
I mean,
but you need a manager who's going to go in the club and actually sit there. And we're talking about playing in Manchester United way. Right now, we're playing in a position worse than Jose Mourinho in the first place.
No, we're playing more the Man United way now than we did under Mourinho. Mourinho got results.
Exactly, and it's a result game. We're playing bad football under him.
But even when we went through the season where we finished second, we were still miles off City. We won the Europa League. We won the League Cup. We won them 2 trophies. Had a reasonable position in the league. And
won the treble, yeah. It's a treble we won. Don't get it. It's a treble, all right? I'll take it. Liverpool fans take it. I'll take it. It's a treble.
But people still weren't happy because we weren't playing the United way. So Ollie's come in. He's given us more of a United way of playing. But because we haven't won nothing, now they're not happy. It's fans are never. You're never going to get 100% of the fan base happy with the manager.
You're not. I understand that.
But are we going to go back to? You go back to when Fergie left. They brought in Moyes. There was no real transfer policy there. No one wanted to play for Moyes, so they basically said, "Oh, quick, let's go get Fellaini. He's the only one that wants to come." And then you go and sack him, then you bring in Van Gaal. You then change your transfer strategy where he was trying to get big Galactico signings like Di Maria, Falcao, would have been good about 5 years before.
But you say that he was, but I thought Van Gaal did a better job because what Van Gaal did, yes, he did go get you Team Maria, but at the same time, what he done was the likes of Rashford, the likes of Lingard, he brought them through.
Yeah, in that sense, he did.
He was bringing those young players through. My thing with it, what you said now, Ian, I don't know if you remember the comment, but Moyes said something and he lost his job because of what he said. He turned around and said, we aspire to be like Man City. He lost his job over that.
I'm not as close to the club, obviously, as you are. What I do like about Ole Solskjaer is he keeps the players' code professional. You never hear whether he's hair dried, this, that, and the other. He's a real pro. What I love about those sort of managers is I hate hearing Mourinho black his players or give it the big one about his players. There is a code of honour in the dressing room. What goes on in the dressing room stays in the dressing room. And Jose Mourinho seems to think that doesn't right. David Moyes, I thought he was unlucky, was a fact. Just give him time. Give him time. You know, Wenger got time at Arsenal, built a great team. Ferguson did the same. Pep Guardiola would do nothing in his first season. Give him time. You know, I think the next time players going on there, you've got a player in and build a whole team around him.
Yeah, we need a manager that we can
build.
Yeah, I was saying to you, Errol. I've said to you before that we need a manager. We need a 5-year plan that we can put into because they seem to
give it to Poch.
Yeah, no, they seem to invest in these managers for the first year, second year. They get to a reasonable position, then they're like, "Oh no, you've made top 4 now. We've made our money. You're not having nothing." And then and we go in a cycle because we get nothing. The fans are hating the board all transfer window, and then it gets to the first game of the season. We get a bad result. It's like sack the manager then because they got nothing else to blame. And then we go in this cycle. So Ollie, if he goes on a bad run, he'll probably get sacked. I hope he doesn't. He'll probably get sacked. We get Poch in because you know, because he got Tottenham to the Champions League final. He must be.
But you got to remember, he's not only Tottenham. He done well as well with Southampton.
Yeah, but
he done well with Southampton.
Name me 8 managers who did well at Southampton and went on to screw it up. You can start with Mark Hughes or Graham Souness or Poyol who went on to Leicester. The graveyard's full of managers who did well at Southampton.
You can't
forget that one. You know, he happened to inherit an incredibly talented team at Spurs. That was a golden generation. Why he didn't win the league with that golden generation of players at Spurs, I thought Pochettino underachieved. And I think you should just be careful of what you wish for. I think you should just track Solskjaer. And if you want someone to jump up and down on the touchline, don't sign him. Don't put a Scandinavian manager because they ain't in their personality.
For me, again, what upset me the most is what he does is the constant changing of the team. Every week, it's something different. Yeah. Like when you look at Man City, when you look at being successful now, you look at Man City, you look at Liverpool. Unless there's injury, you don't see like Pep or you don't see Jose as well. You don't see these managers changing 5-6 players each game. They may change one player unless there's injuries.
The most important game of the season against Leon. Yeah, you're
right. I would say this season in particular, I don't think you can blame him for changing the team. The fixture schedule, they're playing a game every 3 days.
Yeah.
Internationals, Champions League, League Cup, FA Cup. You know, they got the Nations League, completely pointless international friendlies, by the way, that we don't need. And they're training, they're playing every 3 days. So I think he has to. You've almost got to pick a separate team just to play League Cup and FA Cup.
Okay, so if we're doing it, would we not keep our back 4 every week in, week out, unless there's an injury?
Well, it has been injuries, hasn't it? Shaw got injured, so you had to swap him for another left back. The centre half who hasn't played with Maguire, well, pays your money, take your choice because there ain't anyone to play with Maguire. They're all a bit average. Wan-Bissaka's been pretty consistent at right back. You've got the problem is an injury at left back. You've got to change.
Yeah,
And
no, that's understandable. Injury at left back.
There's no second option at centre half because they're all a bit average.
Yeah. So for me, it's again, like I'm gonna say, I'm a Ole out, I'm a Pogba in, and I've got no problem with anyone else.
Well, good luck. Good luck if you've got Pogba and Martial just strolling around the pitch, not doing the rest of their work. Good luck.
Oh, don't get me started. Do not get me started.
Yeah.
This Man United board must be pulling their hair out. Could you imagine paying £90 million for Pogba and watching him do what he does on the pitch?
Yeah, he only has half a job.
Yeah.
Just half a job.
And then he scores.
I reiterate, this is 2020. You watch Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp's team, and the way he backs Firmino, which I really respect the way he backs Firmino, and says, I think he said today something like he's 12 players.
Yeah.
And you have to be. This is 2020.
But for me, yes.
Pogba looked great in Italy when he was allowed to stroll around the park without doing any of the other actions. That's great. Or he had two of the most aggressive animal centre halves who weren't going to give anything away behind him. But
yeah.
This is 2020. He did look good in the 80s and 90s. So would Martial. But this isn't.
I'm a Martial fan as well.
You put those two and Neymar in one team, it's, back in the 1980s, they'd look great. But this is 2020, when a player had to be 360-degree holistic all-round player. You look at the way Pep Guardiola developed Aguero, and I didn't think he could do it. He's a completely different player than he was 4 or 5 years ago. Completely different. And 4 or 5 years ago, he said, hey, he's one of the best in the world. But that was a 2015 player. The 2015 player doesn't make a good 2020 player.
True. Okay, we're going to come back on to the Champions League in a minute. So the first thing we need to do is we're going to let the viewers know to like, subscribe, leave your comments. We'll answer all the comments on the page. Let us know, share it amongst your friends, and get involved with FTB Sports YouTube.
Yeah, keep commenting.
Yep. Our Sunday show, we feature ex-professional footballer Carly Osborne, which we will have on it Jay Mocked from Full Time Devil live this Sunday at 8 p.m. So we're going to just move on now quickly to the Monday Night Football. We'll just go through it briefly because we need to go back to the Champions League scores and everything like that. So let's go to the first Premier League, and it's Burnley versus Crystal Palace. Burnley 1, Palace 0. Again, I know you follow Crystal Palace very close as well, Ian. But for me, Crystal Palace can't win without Zaha.
I'm not certain about that one. Yeah, interesting. I've been in London 12, 13 years, and I miss football. I love watching City. And I made some mates who supported Palace, so I got a season ticket at Palace in the Homesdale about 6 years ago, and it reminds me of all those years in the kitbacks. And if no one's been to Selhurst Park, go to Selhurst Park. It's the way football used to be, when it was really beautiful. I love it watching them there. What would I say against Palace? I never saw that Burnley game coming. Palace were playing great football. They've probably got the strongest team that I've seen since there. I think Eze is
great talent.
He's going to be fantastic. It wasn't Zaha who lost the lack of Zaha, but Kiate had an absolute terrible game at centre back. Legs have gone 3 years ago. So actually, the wobbles at the middle of the defence spread all over the team from the first 5 minutes. You watch the first 5 minutes; they were awful at the back, and that worrying spread. They also didn't have Luka, the Serbian holding midfielder, in front of the defence to give them a bit more confidence. It was a wobbly-ish looking team. When Palace are really, really strong is the way Roy drills and organises them. And it just wasn't there. It wasn't there. And that's apart like a climbing frame file apart. Usually it's a very solid and organised team. And I thought they were shocking. Shocking.
But for me, again, Adam, what's your thoughts? Because yesterday, Townsend normally is very good for them, but Townsend yesterday, he only had about 2 or 3 minutes where he was actually half decent.
Yeah, that's Townsend though, isn't it? That's why he's not playing for a top 4 team anymore.
But he's got a shot on him though. That's the thing. I remember watching Townsend
he does.
when he was playing for like Spurs, and when he takes those shots from that distance, you know something's going to happen.
Yeah. Do you remember the goal against City?
Yeah.
Yeah. That he.
Where's that Townsend gone?
Yeah, the Townsend that always performs for England as well, no matter what.
He's having, I would say, the best season I've seen for 2 or 3. He struggled a bit from injury, was in and out of the team. I love watching Andros Townsend. He's got such a good brain. He sees opportunities. He's not the quickest player. I love watching him. I love watching Andros Townsend. I still think he's got it. He's still got it.
For me though, again, another player.
I mean, what the hell's Batshuayi?
I was going to just say that. I was just coming on to him.
Overrated straight around forward, almost in the Premier League.
He is.
What else did he see? Benteke, Batshuayi. Why they brought Batshuayi back? I have no idea.
Yeah.
Whereas Andre Ayew for £1 million has to be the best player ever. And again, he's a 360-degree player. Much following back as he does going forward. He's a great player, Andre Ayew. But Benteke and Batshuayi, please take him away.
So, do you think, Adam, there is sort of like Burnley? Where do you see Burnley finishing? Because they just had new investment as well, but I think it's got to be signed off by the Premier League. Do you think Sean Dyche has just taken Burnley as far as he can take them? Because I do feel sorry for them as well, because Ben Mee's been out for a while and they've got to try and keep Ben Mee fit. And if they keep him fit, Burnley will then fire. But my thing with it is, it's almost like, has everyone worked out at the Burnley team now in the Premier League? I believe everyone has now.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I just got messages popping up on my screen. Yeah, I think Sean Dyche could take Burnley a lot further if the funds are available. That's the problem with it. Burnley, I think Stitches was talking about this a couple of weeks back. He was saying they're a pointless team because they've always been in this position. Their first half of the season, they'll be around the relegation zone. They'll pick up a few wins over Christmas.
Yeah.
And they'll finish quite comfortable in the top 10. Which, until there's funds available, they're always going to be this hard-to-beat, boring team. Is it? I don't know about you, but when I watch Man United play them, I always know it's going to be a boring game. We're still.
When I watch Man United at the moment, every game's boring.
It's entertaining. Have you not seen Harry Maguire rugby tackled De Gea yet?
I seen him rugby tackled Luke Shaw and Wan Bissaka as well. So yeah.
Well, actually, some news. So Twanzebe's just come on for Lindelof.
I thought he's a quality player. He's going to be quality, but I think we spoke about this on the show. He's going to be a player where he's going to be like a Lely King, where he's going to play 1 game, 2 games, and then get injured again.
Oh yeah, we won't see him again. We won't see him again this season after this half.
Yeah. So let's go to Burnley. Ian, where do you think Burnley and Palace will finish this season in the league?
If you'd asked me before the Monday night game, I'd say Palace will have the best finish they've had, and they'll sit nicely inside the top 10. The Burnley game shook me to my boots because I didn't see that coming. I really didn't. It was almost like the team was unrecognisable. So I think they'll be safe mid-table, but actually it's a shame because they've got the best team for a while. Burnley, I don't think will go down. I think Sean Dyche is a fantastic manager. People talk about Eddie Howe and Bournemouth, but Eddie Howe had a big checkbook there to keep Bournemouth in the league as many seasons. Sean Dyche had nothing, absolutely zip. So I tell you, if I was Fulham and I decided to have a change from Scott Parker, I would hunt Sean Dyche down to keep him in the Premier League. And
he would, yeah.
The managers of Fulham, to be fair, are often given some funds to spend.
Yeah.
And, I think Sean Dyche is fantastic. And Errol, he doesn't have an international name and all that sort of jazz. But I tell you what, I'd love to see him go at a big club. I wonder what Sean Dyche could do with a decent-sized club.
It would
like
be great.
the questions that Sam Allardyce had, when he used to say, if my name was Samuel Allardyce, I would have probably got a top team.
Top team, yeah.
We'll never know because none
100%.
of the top take a gamble on a Sean Dyche.
Yeah, 100%. So, okay, United 3-0. It's second half. Now we're going to go on to the Wolves versus Southampton. Now, Theo has gone back, and since he's gone back, it seems like he's been doing good, but also he missed a sitter yesterday as well to make it sort of 2-1. What do you make of the Wolves and Southampton start to the season? Start with Wolves first, Ian.
They seem to be missing Jota. I thought it was strange with a club with such ambition to sell him because Jimenez is 29 and Jota's 22, and I thought that was a very, very strange decision. Very strange decision. I think Wolves have fought. Obviously the club has a great relationship with Mendes, the agent. I think they're great players. The guy, I think Wolves will find a good manager, good set of club, plenty of money. But the team, Southampton, I have no idea where this is coming from. I thought Højbjerg was their best player, and they sold him to Spurs for not enough money. Not enough money, in my opinion.
Cheap as well, very cheap.
Yeah, that was crazy. And Danny Ings is injured. How they got a point of even against Wolves? How are they doing it? I have no idea. But it's back to that. There's a lot of managers who've had a good couple of seasons at Southampton, and you think they're a god, but they're not.
Yeah.
Maybe this is another one.
Adam, what's your take on the Wolves Southampton yesterday? Because for me, I was watching it and I just think to myself, Wolves look a shadow of the team they were last season.
Yeah, they're just missing that. They're still very, very solid team. They're missing the goals from Jota, like Ian said. It's hard to replace because we did contribute a lot, especially when they're in Europe as well last season. I think Wolves they just need to find that extra dynamic. I don't know where they're going to find it from. I think they got that new striker now, haven't they? He seems to be scoring some goals, but obviously they're obviously having to change the way they play now to cover that. I think they let him go too easily. I think they got a good price for him though.
25 million, that's a bargain.
45, wasn't it?
Was it 45 million? Sorry, 45 million, that's a bargain.
22 years old, I
that's
still
a bargain.
To Liverpool.
But going on to Southampton, I thought it was quite funny because Walcott got his goal 15 years after his first goal for Southampton. Everyone's I don't know, singing and dancing about it in Southampton. But I don't know if you watched the game yesterday, but did you see that chance he had at 1-0?
He missed the sitter.
Not just missed it. He put it about 4 yards wide, 1-on-1 with the keeper, and then they go and concede, draw the game, and everyone. The bonus they're taking out of it is that he scored a goal for the first time in 15 years. And
it's like the hero. He's like a hero, isn't he? It's like the pantomime villain. Yeah. He's a hero for them because he started there as a youngster. It's like with it's like when sorry Ian, I think someone just retweeted the thing on a WhatsApp group with me and you in it. Just came up on my phone. I think what it is, it's like when Bale scored for Tottenham.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's going to be a case of everyone want to praise him. So no matter what happened, he could miss whatever goal, but at the same time, he's a hero to them. And I think that's what it boils down to.
Yeah, but if that was Pogba through on goal,
yeah,
and he put that far wide, and that was the difference between winning and losing or drawing, how would the United fans react?
Yeah, I know. If Graham Souness was on as well, he would tell you.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
If Souness was on, they would tell you about Pogba. I think, to be honest with you, the British media treats certain players differently.
Yeah.
That is it. That's all I look at. Certain media will treat people differently. For me, where do you think then, you're looking at it now, Adam, where do you think Wolves will finish and where do you think Southampton will finish?
At the moment, I'm more looking at Southampton because they've had such a good start. I think they're both going to get top 10.
Yeah, I'm going to look at Southampton. I'm going to say Southampton will finish above. I would say Southampton will finish above Wolves this season.
I'm going to disagree with that one because often the winter puts a lot of pressure on the thin squads.
Yeah.
Southampton have no depth to that squad. One or two more injuries, and Southampton will struggle. I think coming out of January, February, the depth of the squads will start to really, really tell in the Premier League. And I think, unfortunately, and I feel for Southampton, who are doing so well, that I think the depth of the squad will catch up with them.
Yeah.
The squad, and I think we'll see. Southampton won't get relegated, but I think they will slip away. I think they'll slip away as one or two injuries pack up with them. It's similar when you watch clubs like Brighton and Bournemouth getting decent starts over the last few years. And the squad wasn't deep enough to take the whole depth of the season.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
Okay, so that's the roundup of the games from yesterday, and we're going to go back onto the Champions League games tonight again. Thanks everyone for watching. Please like, subscribe, get involved, put your comments down, and we'll answer any comments you guys got to ask us. If you want to ask Ian something, you can. Adam or myself, feel free to, please. Okay, so as it's the watch along for Manchester United, Adam, do you want to give us a breakdown, please?
Well, there's nothing more to say, mate. We're going to win the Champions League. Well, what do you want, a breakdown of the goals?
Yeah, so far, yeah, just because we're around up, because as I got to tell it to my back at the moment.
Yeah, I think the first goal was a corner, swung in, it went for everyone, come out to the edge of the box, out to the right-hand side, and Fernandes has just hit it on the half volley.
Super Bruno.
Yeah, it's hit the top of the roof of the net, on the right, top right. And so I didn't actually see the second one, to be fair. I was talking, so yeah. I didn't see that.
We saw the penalty though, didn't we?
Yeah, I think Rashford got put through, beat the offside trap, and then he's just put his body across and someone's just gone straight through the back of him. So clear penalty. I was surprised that Bruno handed it over when he could have got a hat-trick though.
True. Ian, your team tomorrow, Man City.
I was going to say, actually, reference earlier in the evening, we were talking about Dortmund, and good to see Sancho scored for Dortmund tonight, and so Haaland as well, so they're 2-0 up. So what do we know? I don't see why City won't finish. Again, they're going to Greece. It's not as ferocious as it used to be in the old days. Yeah, I think they should finish that off quite nicely. I do want to just make a comment about the fixture congestion. I do feel a bit for Liverpool. They're playing tomorrow, and they're on the lunchtime game on Saturday. That doesn't seem fair. Man City are playing at 3 o'clock on Saturday, having to come back from Greece tomorrow. Doesn't seem quite right. In terms of organising that, you'd also say, why not the Crystal Palace playing on Monday and Friday?
Yeah. But it's the television, isn't it? It's money. It's all to do with money at the moment.
I don't agree with 5 substitutes because I don't think I agree with the Sheffield United manager that changes
It's a game changer.
Well, it's not a level playing field. You can change your season midstream. You can't change the rules in the middle of a season. If you set out with certain rules, and if you say right now,
Yeah.
you can have 5 subs next season, that's fine. Because clubs plan for that, and then it's a level competition at the beginning. You can't change the rules in the middle of the season.
Yeah, true.
Did you see where Pep and Klopp also said that they need the rules changed to 5 subs as well?
Yeah, I do, and I don't agree.
Yeah, and that
you can't do that
weekend.
in the middle of the season. That's a rich club's.
It's protecting the richer clubs, isn't it?
It's a card that the richer clubs can play. I feel for them because this is a weird season. That European competition that was going on and on. The internationals seem to be all over us. I get it. I get where the injuries are. But, everyone had a decent enough transfer window. Everyone's had the opportunity to develop the players.
3 subs, fine. What's your
like American football? Bring on, you guys
bring on? Yeah, everyone. Yeah.
20 minutes to play.
What about Phil Foden at the moment? Because he seems like he's doing really well at the moment for Man City.
Yeah, I thought it was. I think, and I'm pleased that Hudson seems to have started to put some of his immaturity and shenanigans behind him and got on with playing the game, which is great. He's a very talented young man, and I hope that your man Greenwood gets out of his own head and gets on with playing the game at United. So it's good to see that. Yes, he did something really stupid, but he's had enough behind him to get his feet back on the deck.
Yeah.
Again, what I'd say though is look at those internationals. And De Bruyne played 90 minutes 3 consecutive times for Belgium. And then you're expecting him to turn up. Foden for England.
You can't.
It's a big demand.
Yeah.
Back and do that. But no, I think Phil Foden is the real deal. He is the real deal. And for all of us, as long as we don't just trash everyone, which we probably will.
Yeah.
We have such an exciting young talent there to play for England. When you look at Greenwood, you look at Mason Mount, you look at Hudson-Odoi, you look at Foden, you look at Declan Rice. Gee,
abundance of talents.
We seem to be devoid of decent centre halves.
Harry Maguire.
We got fabulous fullbacks. We got every option in midfield. We got goal scorers. What are you going to say? And you've got Jamie Vardy who doesn't playing for England, and we're not
exactly. He should be there for England.
We need to recreate the role we used to have an abundance of great young centre halves.
Yeah.
We don't seem to have any anymore.
Yeah, that's it with it though. For me, I think unfinished business. Can I see Man City win the Champions League this season? I think it's going to be about Bayern again this season, to be honest with you. Liverpool depends on the injuries as well. If they could, well, technically speaking, they have got a lot of injuries, but some of them is like only a week or 2 weeks layoff. It's not, apart from VD, that's the only major concern they've got.
Now, Liverpool have got a fantastic squad of players. Bayern Munich have got a fantastic squad. I think those 2 clubs.
Yeah, in depth, strength and depth. They've got strength and depth.
I would put more money on Man City if Pep. I don't know. He just seems to have some kind of a brain freeze later on in the tournament.
Knockout, yeah.
I don't understand, but
yeah, it's a weird one because it's almost like you just get to the quarterfinal or semi-final and then that's it.
Oh, City were unlucky against Spurs, and that was the season. Liverpool weren't quite as formed then.
Yeah.
If City were going to win the Champions League, that was the chance.
Yeah.
By the next season, Liverpool were a bit good and Bayern Munich were too good. But that season, Bayern Munich were the weakest they've been for ages. Forget the Spanish guys. Liverpool were nearly formed, but not quite. City shouldn't have blown that Spurs game. That was stupid.
Yeah.
And it was actually in the home leg when Aguero missed the penalty. When they should have buried it in the home leg, there shouldn't have even been any debate.
True, very true.
Crazy.
For me, it's again, I'm going to still say Bayern to win the Champions League. Adam, what do you think?
Yeah, Bayern all day long. Yeah.
I'm not writing Liverpool off, but I'm going to say Bayern.
I think those
Ian?
two clubs are a distance ahead. Yeah, Bayern or Liverpool.
Yeah. Any more updates, Adam? Because what we need to do now, we just need to wrap up, find out what's going on tomorrow's show, and
well, we just had a Greenwood's just come on. Just
another penalty.
No, he's just come on. Went on a run, won a corner from the corner. Harry Maguire, free header, but he's put it over the bar.
Harry Maguire,
big Harry,
world class centre back.
Oh, I'll take him any day of the week.
Yeah, all day, every day, mate.
Here's a quiz for you two. Don't look at it. So Barcelona are 2-0 up against Dynamo Kiev. Name either of the scorers. I'll give you 5 guesses and you won't get.
So Barcelona's 2-0 up.
Yeah, who scored the 2 goals for Barcelona?
I'm going to say it's going to be a centre back. Could it be the centre back they brought through? Because I know obviously Piqué was injured. I'm going to say centre back.
Mingueza. No. It's not
who?
Who? Mingueza is the guy you're talking about. But
the defender. Yeah, the defender.
It's just weird. You pick up the score sheet, Barcelona 2, and the goal was scored by Braithwaite and Dest.
Braithwaite scored?
Yeah.
Jesus.
And yet, I mean, possibly does that describe how far Barcelona have fallen?
They are falling far behind.
We don't even know who their goal scorers are. I know he was a player that got from somewhere else. He was a Premier League failure somewhere, but yes, Braithwaite score for Barcelona.
Well, it seems like he's going to be the new thing now, isn't it?
Burnley players, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Turf Moor on a frosty winter night.
Yeah, and Braithwaite scores.
Yeah. So guys, I'm probably going to wrap it up now. Thanks, guys, everyone, for watching. Still ask us a question. We will get back to you. FTB Sports. Like, subscribe, follow us. We will be back tomorrow at for a Liverpool preview 1-11 from 95 till now. And also we're going to be doing, Ian will be back with us again on Friday to do the Premier League preview show. So yeah, we're looking forward to it. And thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, and we really appreciate it. United. Wrong part. 3-0. That's it. All right then. Thanks, Ian. Thanks, Adam. Pleasure as always. Thank you very much. Have a lovely evening, guys. And thanks for watching.
Later.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.